Alright folks, this is going to be my first tutorial video to put on YouTube. What I have is it's a 2005 Trailblazer, and issue I had with this vehicle initially was the water pump went out. So at first I thought it was just a broken serpentine belt, but it turned out that the water pump was froze up, and that was what caused the serpentine belt to replace, but we'll get into that later. So anyways, a couple of valuable life lessons here when trying to work on any modern day car that has a modern day crap, I'll call it, radiator with a plastic tank. So I was approaching the water pump change in rapid fashion. First, have to disconnect the radiator and all the hoses and drain the fluid and so on and so forth. So, and looky here. Wow. That doesn't look normal, does it? No, that's called a broken freaking radiator stem. What had happened was, after, I don't know, 10 or 11 years, or how many years this hose has been on here, these things are kind of hard to remove. So, life lesson here. When you're going to change out your water pump or have to do anything with your hoses or radiators with these modern crap plastic radiators, presumably made in Mexico or China, who knows. But anyways, just go ahead and get you a good razor knife, box cutter, utility knife, and just cut that crap off and replace the hose. That hose is about 15-20 bucks. I know it's ridiculous, it's only about 8 inches long, but GM likes to put nice little kinks and bends in their hoses and charge exuberant prices for them, because running a straight line is just too freaking difficult. So, so that's my suggestion. Number one, just cut the hose and buy a new hose, because my $40 water pump and $18 serpentine belt has now turned into a $200 radiator repair. So that's where we're at right now. So I'll give you some little tips and tricks here on how to get this thing exposed to get this thing out. So back to this grill, this nice little fancy grill has to come off. I've already done it, but just to give you a snapshot of it, if you look here, there's these little clips. You just take a screwdriver and you put it back in there and just pop the clip out. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 on the top. There is 2 down here at the bottom. 1 on the left, 1 on the right. There's 1 in the center. For good measure, you want that piece of plastic to really stay on there at the hyperspace speeds that these Trailblazers go. And then there's 2 more in this front fascia part right here that goes in between the headlights. There's another guy on YouTube that gives a pretty quick demonstration. So that's the easy part of the job, is getting that piece of crap off. So the next thing we have to do is there are a series of bolts on. God knows what that is. There's a series of bolts that are here on this bar right here. So of course these 2 bolts were removed. Took those out. That front plastic part. You got 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, those are 13 millimeter. And then you think, okay, well, I'm good, I should be able to take this thing out. There's actually 2 more they get kind of hidden down in here. Right here at your center post of your engine. Okay, so make sure you get those out, because you're going to start jerking on this thing. You're like, why isn't it coming out? Yeah, GM's 2 little mystery bolts in here. Then your hood release latch, that needs to come off. Okay. All right, so there's 3 bolts on that, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. Okay, so you still have to deal with this plastic piece in here. This should be able to come out. I'm thinking we don't have to remove this to get the radiator in, but let me finish getting the bolts out of here. A nice 6-inch extension with the knurled finger twisters always helps with this kind of stuff. Even a 3-inch extension will help you get these things out in rapid fashion. Like I said, the what started out to be about an hour job and about $60 or $70 in parts and coolant has now turned into a probably an all-day affair, and an additional $200 for another piece of crap plastic radiator from compliments of GM. Really can't complain. The Trailblazer has this Trailblazer has about 200,000 miles on it, so it's been a pretty good car. Haven't had to fix much on it, really. So as much as I'm complaining about GM, this inline 6 is actually a pretty good motor. Okay, also very important to this is you see these little spacers right here. I'm sorry, I'm holding this camera myself, so there's actually 4 of these spacers. They reside there. Okay, those 2 just kind of sit there. Those 2 are actually flush mount. They have a they actually have a place that they sit. But these 2, as you can see, they have a tendency to go somewhere if you don't watch it, or you'll be looking on the ground going, "What the hell is that?" The job's never complete until you get unless you have extra parts. Okay, so I think we're going to be able to work around these plastic tabs to get this radiator out. So okay, I'm back. Okay, so we see this thing here, this radiator support bracket. This is what your hood latch was attached to. Okay, you're not going to get the radiator out without this out of the way. We look down, we follow the yellow brick road here. We see these 2 little 3/8 inch bars that go down seemingly into nowhere. And if we look deep down inside, there's a probably a 10mm bolt. That's, you can't even see that shit. So that's one more thing that has to come out. Let me pull that out. I'll be back with you in a second. All right, folks. So yes, there was a mystery bolt. I can't really get in there and see it. I'm sorry. Holding that bracket on, and it was not the easiest thing to get to. The other, drop my little hand light down on here. Sorry. Okay, so you see that bracket right there? Okay, yeah, holds all that on. It keeps your radiator and your condenser coil in place. I guess I couldn't think of a better way to do that. So, in their infinite wisdom, there was a bolt way down in there, a 13 millimeter, which so far in this job I've encompassed 9, 10, and 13, because GM likes to keep the bolt industry in business. So this is the bolt that they put in there. Nice, oh, I don't know, probably 2-inch long bolt. 2-inch long bolt and about, I don't know, 3 inches of space. So you have to loosen it with the socket wrench, and then get down there with your finger wrench and get that thing out. Of course, a pneumatic box wrench would have been great, but I don't have pneumatic tools. So essentially, you got to get in there and work that thing out with your fingers. Be very, very careful. This is your condenser coil for your air conditioning unit. If you live anywhere in the southeastern United States, air conditioning is critical. So as you can see, that attaches to the radiator up here at the top. I think there's a couple bolts on the bottom. There's a breather hose. So I thought I was going to have to take this whole front assembly off, but I didn't. So as you can see, that's what our declipped Trailblazer looks like. So I think in the meantime, what I'll end up doing is trying to go ahead and get this fan clutch, or get the fan hub off, get the fan out of the way, and at least get the water pump done for today. Thanks.